Student loan payments are back, but with some major changes, from block repayment plans to rising interest. What should borrowers do now? This morning, we are back with certified financial planner. We have Jana Morrison to break down your options and how to avoid those costly mistakes. Jana, this is a huge talker right now.
It is. There's a lot of changes this year.
Yeah, so can you kind of break down really what we're seeing? Now, I know they started it on May 5th of 2025, so what should borrowers need to know now?
Okay. As of August, they're accruing interest on the student loans if you're in the SAVE program, the SAVE program.
Okay.
And so what that means is they're not requiring you to make payments right now if you're in that program, but you will start accruing interest, which adds to your principal balance, which can affect your payments in the future.
So now it's the SAVE plan. There are a bunch of actually other repayment plans. So can you kind of break down the ones that people may not actually know about?
Okay. There are actually 4 different types of repayment plans. There are the standard repayment plan, the graduated repayment plan, the extended repayment plan, and then you have another category which is called the income-driven repayment plan.
And so from that, the income-driven repayment plan, then there's a bunch of sub-plans.
A bunch. And so the sub-plans include SAVE, S-A-V-E,
right. Lots
of acronyms, PAY, P-A-Y-E, there's the income-based repayment plan, and then there's there's another one, let's see.
IBR?
Income-based repayment.
Okay.
And then the new one is called the RAP.
The Repayments Assistance Plan.
Yes, and that's the one that was just put into place, but actually it hasn't started yet.
Okay.
And we don't know all the details about that because it hasn't started, but it should be put in place by July the 1st of next year.
Okay, so what does this kind of mean when it has to all of these plans? What is the best course of scenario now for borrowers who didn't have to pay, now they're having to pay back into it? So what is kind of the best course of action, do you think?
First of all, I think you have to understand which plan you're in because there's so many.
Right.
You can go to studentaid.gov and you can see which plan you're in. You can also look at a loan simulator there. It's like a calculator where you can input your loan and you can experiment with the different types of repayment plans to see which works out to your best benefit. Then the Department of Education recommends that you, if you're in the SAVE plan, that you switch to the IBR plan, the income-based repayment plan, until the RAP plan is available. Okay, so you know, interest does start accruing, so it does make sense. I'm a financial planner.
Right.
It does make sense to go ahead and make some interest payments if you can. And the reason you want to do that, even if you're not required to make the full payment, is that you want it to stop adding to your balance. And it can save you a lot in the future. Now, I know a lot of people who have these plans are just out of college.
Right.
Sometimes it's hard to make the payments and you're not used to making the payments. But it does help in the long run if you do that.
So that's kind of the best case scenario, especially for recent grads, as well as maybe to some who were taking those finances and now putting it to other things. You think the best advice now is to start putting in some money?
If you can.
Yeah.
I think it makes a lot of sense if you can. And another thing that I did understand is that if you are interested in having your loan forgiven, you know, if you are going to work for a nonprofit, police officer, teacher, hospital, nonprofit, that you have to actually be making payments to get the months to count towards your period of repayment. A lot of times you can get those loans forgiven within 10 years, but you have to have 10 years of payments. So if you're not making the payments, this time period does not count toward the 10 years.
Okay, so
that's
really
very important too.
Yeah.
So you may want to get into a plan where you can start making some payments, you know, even if you look at the lowest one possible.
So how important is it to understand your loan and just in general? It sounds like this is really going to, naturally, it affects you. You've worked really hard for your education, but now having to repay it, either repaying it back, you know, after a couple of years, or you just graduated from college. So how important is it to know where your money is, where your money isn't going, and of course with those loans?
It's very important, and it's very I think, difficult to understand.
Right.
But, you know, if you've gone to college, you're smart. And so you can, I just think it's very important to look into it and just really understand the different types of loans available, and so that you can understand what to do to benefit yourself.
And a lot of resources that are already out there. I love the fact that there is kind of like that calculator online that's going to be helping.
Very nice.
There. And also, too, it's the fact that you have to move your money around, right? That could also be a little nervous or nerve-wracking for people going from save to IBR to.
And I think, you know, personally, I would call, you know, student aid. I would try to get a representative on the line, and I'm sure that they can help walk you through. If you don't get one that you really like, call back.
Yeah, I like that.
Get a different one.
Yeah, keep calling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your money, and you have to make sure that you're getting all of your answers.
Exactly.
I love that. Janet, thank you so much for being here. We definitely appreciate you, because this is definitely a hot button topic, and I know you all have a lot of questions. If you do, you can always just let us know. We'll bring Janet back on here to answer some more of your questions. We're going to be putting it all on our website later on today at WLTX.com.
Thank you.